Welcome all sports fans, YouTubers, Facebookers, all social media across the nation. Uneducated Never presents Uneducated Sports Talk, and I'm your host, Carlos Clayton. And today we have our fantasy talk for week 2 of the NFL season. Before we get into that, I want to say that I am going to go over my picks for this week as well, week 2. So before we start that, if you haven't, please like and subscribe to Uneducated Network, to where you can see my show, Uneducated Sports Talk. You can see So You Think You Know Sports, hosted by Craig Jones, aka Turtle. You can see In the Paint with Red, hosted by Devontae Roan, aka Red. We also got Uneducated Star Wars Talk, hosted by Christopher Lambert. We have Game and Uneducated, hosted by Shelton Woods. We have Vision Life Ministry, hosted by Phyllis Clayton. There will be a new show coming out tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that as well. We got all kind of things going on with Uneducated Network, so please, if you haven't, like and subscribe to Uneducated Network. What are you doing? Do it right now. Subscribe. Anyway, well, that being said, I'm done promoting. Let's promote my show, Uneducated Sports Talk. And we're going to go with our pick'ems. I went 10-5 last week. 10-5. Which is not a really good start. I had a lot of uncharacteristic things happen. You know, the Patriots losing to the Chiefs, my Saints losing to the Vikings. Yes, I had the Saints beating the Vikings. Those kind of things happened to me on the way. The Cowboys beating the Giants, I did not have that happening. But that's in the past. 10-5 is not bad, but it's not good in my opinion. We want to go higher than that. So we have a new week going on and week 2 of the NFL season. Let's start it off. We have the Texans at the Bengals, and I had the Bengals in this one. Brian Cushing just got caught for PEDs, so you know that he's kind of gone for 10 games, and the Texans don't even know what the quarterback's going to be. So I got the Bengals in this one at home. Can't beat that. Bills at the Panthers. I had the Carolina Panthers win this. They're at home as well. I think that they're just a better team. Cam Newton's going to find a way to get into a groove against Buffalo in this game. Bears at the Buccaneers. It's the Buccaneers' first game of the season because of Hurricane Harvey. They had to get out the way. Hurricane Irma. They had to not play the first week. But I had the Buccaneers beating the Bears team. I think Jameis Winston and them are primed to have a very good year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Vikings at the Steelers. My first tough one for this week. I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings. I think that their defense is going to put it on Pittsburgh. And once Pittsburgh finds out what they want to do with Le'Veon Bell, I think they should run the ball. But it's a very tough team to run the ball against. It's the Minnesota Vikings. So had the Vikings winning that one. Patriots at the Saints. My Saints. I love my team. But I think we're going down this one. I really hope not. The fan of me is saying, oh, we're going to beat them. We're going to stomp them. But the analyst of me is saying that the Patriots are going to take out the New Orleans Saints at New Orleans. Also, Cardinals at the Colts. That's a no-brainer. The Cardinals are going there. They're going to stump the Colts. The Colts just don't have a... The Colts are playing like a college team, to be honest. I think Alabama could probably beat the Colts right now. It's just that sad of a play, that's going on in Indianapolis. Also, we have the Browns at the Ravens. I do have the Ravens in that one. Closer than what you think. Same thing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. This Browns team, although not good, they're scrappy. I get a feeling that they're scrappy, but I have the Ravens winning that one out. Eagles at the Chiefs. That was another tough one for me, but I'm going with Kansas City to win that game against the Eagles in a very close game. Titans at Jaguars. I love what the Jaguars are doing right now. Pound the rock, run it with Leonard Fournette and gang. Chris Ivory as well. So I think that they have some things that they're working on. I think the Jaguars take out the Tennessee Titans in this game as well. Jets at the Raiders. I have the Raiders. I think the Jets are just garbage right now. I think the Raiders are trying to prove a point in their home opener as well. So Dolphins at the Chargers. The Chargers, I think they'll take this one off after that loss they had against the Broncos, heartbreaking fashion. This Dolphins' first game playing of the season, of course, because of Hurricane Irma. But I think that the Dolphins are going to be a little sluggish with Jay Cutler at the helm. I believe the Chargers get this victory. Cowboys at the Broncos, which might be the game of the week or something similar or something close to game of the week. I have the Cowboys in this one, unfortunately. I do have the Cowboys defeating the Denver Broncos in a very close game, but I think somehow the Cowboys' offense is a little better than Denver's offense. 49ers and Seahawks are no-brainer. This is my guaranteed pick 'em. You can't miss it. I always have one of these a week. Seattle against San Francisco is in Seattle. Seattle's going to blow them out. I think Russell Wilson's going to finally come back to life, hopefully, for Seattle fans. Redskins at the Rams. Look, I like the Rams. I like the Rams in this one. Redskins are trying to prove a point after that dismal performance against Philadelphia, but I think that the Rams come in, the Rams are at home. I think the Rams, continue what they're doing, and they squeak out a victory against the Redskins. And then the Sunday night game, which might be the game of the week, Primetime game, Packers at Falcons. This is a toss-up. The Falcons are opening their brand new Mercedes-Benz Superdome, well, Mercedes-Benz Dome, whatever you want to call it. But they are opening it up for the first time when they're playing it. No more college teams in it. They're actually playing in it now. And I have the Falcons winning this one. It's a must-win for the Falcons, in my opinion. That lackluster performance they had against the Bears, if they keep that going on against the Packers will blow them out. Falcons have a lot of questions to answer, so I'm really banking on them getting this victory. And then for the Monday night game, Lions at the Giants. I had the New York Football Giants winning this one in a very ugly, low-scoring game, in my opinion. But I think the Giants find a way to beat Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. So I'll let you guys know how it is after Monday night, how we went. And we're going for that one. 10-5 this week. I'm looking to go 16-0 this week. Now, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is our fantasy football talk, so let's talk fantasy football. We had a lot of breakout stars. We had a lot of guys who were duds. Le'Veon Bell is one of those duds. Kareem Hunt's one of those breakout stars. So let's talk about the quarterback play. Alex Smith had a day with the New England Patriots. So for starters, let's talk starters first. Carson Palmer versus the Colts. He had a horrific game against the Detroit Lions, but I think the Colts are just a bad defense, a bad team overall. I would start Carson Palmer. If you have Carson Palmer right now, he's going to eat the Colts up and that offense as well. Also, Russell Wilson had another subpar game against the Green Bay Packers. I would start him against San Francisco with their linebackers going down and things aren't really looking good for the 49ers right now on defense. I think that Russell Wilson will have a big day against the 49ers. I would start him if you haven't. And then, bounce back game. I told you last week, do not start Drew Brees against the Vikings. I was kind of right. Now, you start him against the New England Patriots. I think that he actually, he tears them apart. I have him still losing, but I think, fantasy-wise, Drew gets his points in this game. First home game, the opener, a very lackluster defensive performance from the New England Patriots. So I think that Drew, somehow, some way, they find a way to get a lot of people open for a lot of yards and a lot of touchdowns. So I have Drew Brees starting. And in my wild card, if you're stuck in a rut and you still have someone that you need to pick up, Trevor Siemian against Dallas. They're in Denver. I will get Trevor Siemian just because the Dallas defense looked good against the Giants, but Eli Manning is just boo-boo, so right now, So anyways, Trevor Siemian, I will go with Trevor Siemian against the Dallas Cowboys defense if you want to get like a little wild card, an iffy pick. People I would sit out. We just talked about Eli Manning. I would sit Eli out against Detroit. Yes, I know that Odell Beckham is coming back, and people are saying, well, now that Odell's back, Eli's going to be fine. No. Eli still has an offensive line that has to protect him. So if Odell's in there or not, regardless who's the receivers, he has to be protected. And he's not going to be protected with that line. Against Detroit, Detroit has some heavy guns coming at him. So I would sit out Eli just because Odell is back. Do not put Eli in there. And I would sit Alex Smith. Yes, he had a game for the ages against the New England Patriots. And he looked good. Now, everybody wants to hop on that bandwagon. But wait a minute, just for a second. The Philadelphia Eagles aren't the New England Patriots when it comes out to defense. The Philadelphia Eagles actually play solid defense, and they actually have solid guys right now. The Patriots were bending, and they broke. Philadelphia is not going to break like that. They're going to concentrate more on the run game, I think, Kansas City in this game, and you'll see back to normal Alex Smith for just this game. You never know, but I'm sitting down Alex Smith. Don't get on the hype train just so fast. So, started over, Carson Palmer, start him. Russell Wilson, start him. Drew Brees, start him. Wild card, if you had to. Trevor Siemian, start him against Dallas. Sitting down is Alex Smith. Sitting down is also Eli Manning. Sit those guys down. Let's done with the quarterbacks. Let's go with the running backs now. Kareem Hunt is showing that he is a star. And for those that doubt, well, maybe we're just a one-hit wonder. No, he's not a one-hit wonder. This guy's a feature back. He's a three-down back, matter of fact, who could do it all. He has great hands, great speed, great body. I think I would start him because he's going to be used like crazy. He might be the David Johnson of last year's fantasy. I'm just being honest with you guys. Kareem Hunt, I will start him against Philadelphia all day. Also, Marshawn Lynch, start him against the Jets. I think he has a monster game, not probably yards-wise, but touchdown-wise. I think that they get inside the red zone a few times and they run it in with Marshawn Lynch. He's shown that he's still got it from last week. So, Marshawn Lynch, start him. Another guy to start, Jacquizz Rodgers from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They are playing in their first game, but When Jaquiz was healthy last year, he had a monster 2 or 3 weeks in fantasy. I picked him up. I wouldn't know. And then he got hurt, and I was sad. But Jaquiz Rodgers is back now, and he's playing against the Chicago Bears, where I think that they'll have a field day at home. Very hot, very muggy in Tampa Bay, and I think that they're going to just annihilate the Bears on the run game. Jaquiz Rodgers, if you haven't, pick him up ASAP. Devontae Freeman against the Packers. I think the Packers will concentrate so much on that passing game. Devontae Freeman's going to have a lot of holes to go through. He's going to have a lot of yardage, whether it be through the air and running. Devontae Freeman is a very, very hot pick. I don't know why I'm saying it, because he is the second highest paid player in the NFL, running back style, for running backs. But start Devontae Freeman if you have him. He's going to have a field day against Green Bay. I got a great feeling. Who you want to sit down is Carlos Hyde for the San Francisco 49ers. And it's pretty obvious playing the Seahawks defense that is very upset right now. Carlos Hyde will not have anywhere to go. When you go into Seattle, you just don't do good running. It's just obvious. And James Stewart versus the Bills. I think that Jonathan Stewart will be sitting down pretty much most of this game. This game is more of a Christian McCaffrey type of game. So I'm not saying start Christian McCaffrey. I'm not saying that at all. But Jonathan Stewart has to sit out. I'm not testing him against this Bills defense. So recap with the running backs. I said start Kareem Hunt and also start Marshawn Lynch, Jaquiz Rodgers, Devontae Freeman, and I say sit out Carlos Hyde and Jonathan Stewart, and a wild card. Man, you got to think tough. I'm not saying sit him out. I'm not saying keep him in and start him, but Le'Veon Bell. You saw that. I don't know what happened when they played against the Browns, that he was being punished by the team. He only had a total of 14 touches, and that's unlike Le'Veon Bell. I don't know if he's out of shape, but they said he came in good shape. They said he's been working out on his own, so I don't know what that actually means, but he did not even get a chance to showcase his skills. Now you play against a tougher opponent in the Minnesota Vikings. So it's kind of tough. Yes, they thought maybe we had the Browns, so we could just kind of ease him in, and they barely squeaked by the Browns. I think with the Minnesota Vikings, two things are going to happen. Either he's going to get shut down or he's going to have a big day. So he is the wild card for the running back. So be careful with Le'Veon. If you really, really want to do him like I do, I have Le'Veon in one of my drafts. I'm going to put him in. But I'm so going to hate myself if he doesn't perform to a level against the Minnesota Vikings, because that is a very tough defense. I would know. My Saints just got showcased by them. So let's go on to the wide receivers now. Wide receivers is always tricky, but it's very early. We got good details of who we want, who we don't want. So for my starters, I'm saying Michael Crabtree. Go ahead and start him against the New York Jets. Michael Crabtree, I think, is going to have, he's always a guy that every now and then will pop up with a 2-touchdown game. I think this is the game where he does have a field day. When they get into that red zone, I'm saying it's either Marshawn Lynch or I think it's Michael Crabtree. I don't think Amari Cooper gets in this game. Michael Crabtree, start him. Randall Cobb versus the Falcons. I think Randall Cobb's going to have another field day as well. He had a great game last week, 8 catches for 85 yards against the Seahawks. Now he's playing against a Falcons team where I think he can exploit them even more because of their defensive problems, pretty much. So I have Randall Cobb in there doing his thing. So start Randall Cobb. John Brown, he's been having some injuries for the Arizona Cardinals. He's been having injury problems, but he's not practicing right now, but he is going to play against the Indianapolis Colts. If there was ever a time to start John Brown, start him right now against the Colts. They're going to concentrate more on Fitzgerald. John Brown can get a lot of opportunities. He had 7 targets last week against the Detroit Lions, but now you face basically a college team. I think John Brown gets his numbers. His speed alone is going to run after the catch is going to be big for him, I think, in this particular game, on turf. They were on turf last week too, but I'm just saying, you're going to get yardage from John Brown. So go ahead and start John Brown. Yes, he hasn't really practiced this week, but they're saying he is going to play. He is going to play, and he will be ready. They're just holding him out, but I still think he gets at least 2 big bombs somehow. Now, my sit-downs, Golden Tate versus the New York Giants. Sit him down. The Giants' defense is too stingy. I think that Janoris Jenkins is going to be all over Golden Tate. He shut down Dez Bryant. He's going to shut down he's going to shut down Golden Tate. Sit out Golden Tate right now. Sit him out. And also sit down Dez Bryant. I just said it. Sit out Dez Bryant against the Denver Broncos defense. That defense is crazy. Chris Harris Jr. and then you have Aqib Talib. Those guys are going to lock down on Dez Bryant, and they're going to force other guys to beat them. And then also sit out Adam Thielen. I know he was the darling of last week, but you got to understand he played against a bad Saints defense. Very bad Saints defense. Very young, immature I'm not saying immature as in they're beating people up, but immature as in their thought process and their play calling on defense or where they're supposed to be at. Adam Thielen just took advantage of it, and it was pretty easy pickings. I would sit him down. Yes, he had a great game, and everybody's reaching for him right now, reaching. But he's playing against a Pittsburgh Steelers team that's at least mature on defense. They might still give a few big plays, not necessarily to him, but I think that they will keep more on him and stopping them. So those are my wide receivers, my stardoms. I say Michael Crabtree, Randall Cobb, John Brown for the Arizona Cardinals, Golden Tate, sit him down. Sit Golden Tate down. Sit down Dez Bryant, and also sit down Adam Thielen. And let's go with the last one, the tight ends. The tight ends of fantasy. Look, I'm saying start him. He's been looking very bad right now. Not very bad, but he's been looking kind of iffy the last years and change. But Jimmy Graham, he was once the darling of the NFL, to be honest. The mobile tight end, the go-to tight end of the league. When you heard either Jimmy Graham or Gronkowski. But now he's kind of fallen off. But it tells you what difference of quarterbacks when you have Drew Brees and you have Russell Wilson. Now they're both great quarterbacks in their own way, but Russell leans more towards his escapability and his run, his scrambling abilities. Where Drew Brees is putting pinpoint passes to Jimmy Graham, which is more Jimmy Graham style, obviously. But in this week against the 49ers, I'm saying start Jimmy Graham. I think this week, with Reuben Foster being out and having that injury, they're very thin on linebacker. I think that Jimmy Graham takes big advantage of these linebackers and he dominates. I will start Jimmy Graham. Also, Kobe Fleener for the New Orleans Saints. Yes, I'm not a big Fleener fan, but I say start him against the Patriots. I think he has a touchdown or two because when they get in that red zone, he's probably the only threat passing-wise right now the Saints have besides him and Michael Thomas. And they're going to key on Michael Thomas like crazy. Kobe Fleener, start him because he could get you a touchdown or two. Jason Witten, start him against the Broncos. I'm not saying his yardage because he's not going to get any yards, but I think Jason Witten finds a way to get you a touchdown and 4 or 5 catches, especially in your PPR league. So you can't beat a touchdown and 4 or 5 catches from Jason Witten. I would start him against the Denver Broncos because they have worries everywhere else. I think he's a mismatch for anybody on that team. I think they have to acute to lead with someone big like that on him, one of their safeties as well. But I think he will take advantage and get at least 8 touchdowns in that game. And then also Tyler Eifert versus the Texans. Start him. The Texans, like I said, they're getting popped everywhere. Cushion is suspended for 10 games for PEDs. They had their linebackers issues already. I think that Tyler Eifert has a big game. Coming into the season, he had 18 touchdowns in his last 21 games. He didn't get one, obviously, last week, and they struggled. But I think this game, Thursday Night Football, I believe that Tyler Eifert gets his shine on in this game. Now, 2 guys I say sit them out. O.J. Howard is going to make his professional debut this Sunday with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Bears, but I'm saying sit him out right now. I don't really know if they're really going to showcase him this particular game. I heard he's a great blocker, and I know that they want to run that rock right now with Jacquizz Rodgers, so I think that he's going to do a lot more blocking than usual. But I still say later on in the season, keep him there because you want to see how he fares in this offense. Now, it did a great job and is doing a great job for the Buccaneers, but I think they rely on him more on the passing game and O.J. Howard on the blocking game. And also sitting out Martellus Bennett for the Green Bay Packers, sitting him out against the Falcons. The Falcons linebackers are fast, they're agile, they can move east and west with the best of them. I think they shut down Martellus Bennett. I think that Aaron Rodgers scores more on the outside, and he finds Adams, Nelson, and Cobb. So I will sit Martellus Bennett down. Yes, anyone looks good against Green Bay. Anyone looks good with Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers, obviously. But when you're playing against a fast linebacking core, they tend to, usually get in the way of tight ends. So Martellus Bennett, sit him down. O.J. Howard, sit him down. And then to start Jimmy Graham, I will start Kobe Fleener, start Jason Witten, and start Tyler Eifert. So that is my fantasy talk for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to like, subscribe, comment, share this video out to everyone. We got a lot more things going in. Like I said, check out for Vision Life Ministries with my mother, Phyllis Clayton. She's going to have her show come out tomorrow. So just be ready for that. Be ready for a lot more things going on. We got big things going. So if you haven't, please subscribe to Uneducated Network to where you can see my show, everybody else's show, and subscribe to my own show, Uneducated Sports Talk. I got that as well. So This is Uneducated Network is presenting Uneducated Sports Talk. I'm the host, Carlos Clayton, and as always, sports fans, you know what it is. Stay smart, stay uneducated. Till next time, peace.